The wind howled across the ancient stone walls of the Tower of London, carrying with it whispers that were never meant to be heard. For nearly 1,000 years, this fortress has stood in the heart of London, silent, watching, remembering. But according to guards, historians, and terrified visitors, the tower is not empty. Because long after the executions ended, some prisoners never left. And on certain nights, when the fog rolls across the Thames and the ravens fall strangely silent, people claim they still see them, waiting, watching, and wandering through the darkness of the tower without heads. The Tower of London is one of the most infamous buildings in human history. Built in 1778 by William the Conqueror, it was created as a symbol of fear and power. Over the centuries, the fortress became a royal palace, a prison, an execution ground, and a torture chamber. Inside these cold stone walls, betrayal was rewarded with death. Screams once echoed through its corridors, blood stained its floors, and countless souls met horrifying ends beneath the shadow of the crown. Even today, many believe those souls never found peace. Visitors often describe sudden freezing temperatures in locked rooms. Guards have reported hearing footsteps in empty hallways. Some claim invisible hands touched them in the dark. But the most terrifying legend of all belongs to Anne Boleyn, the second wife of King Henry VIII. In 1536, Anne Boleyn was accused of treason, adultery, and incest. Historians still debate whether the charges were real or simply a cruel political execution ordered by a king desperate for power. She was imprisoned inside the tower she once entered as a queen. Days later, she was led to the scaffold on Tower Green. Witnesses said Anne remained calm as the executioner prepared his sword. Then, in a single horrifying moment, her head rolled across the ground. But according to centuries of reports, Anne Boleyn never truly left the tower. Guards have claimed to see a pale female figure drifting silently through the corridors near the chapel of St. Peter ad Vincula. A woman dressed in white, carrying her severed head beneath her arm. No footsteps, no sound, only silence. One of the most chilling sightings occurred in the 19th century, when a guard claimed Anne's ghost floated directly toward him during a night patrol. Terrified, he lunged at the figure with his bayonet. The weapon passed straight through empty air. The guard collapsed in shock. At first, his superiors accused him of sleeping on duty, a crime punishable by death at the tower. But multiple witnesses later confirmed seeing the same terrifying figure that night. And Anne Boleyn is not alone. Deep within the tower lies another horrifying mystery: the disappearance of the two young princes. In 1483, 12-year-old Edward V and his younger brother Richard were brought into the Tower of London by their uncle, Richard III. They were told they would remain there temporarily before Edward's coronation, but the coronation never happened. The boys vanished. Forever. No official explanation was ever given. Years later, workers discovered the skeletons of two children hidden beneath a staircase inside the tower. Many believe they belonged to the missing princes, and according to legend, their spirits still wander the ancient halls. Some visitors claim they've heard the sound of children crying late at night. Others report seeing two small, shadowy figures holding hands near the bloody tower before disappearing into the darkness. But what happened next would make the tower's reputation even darker, because death inside these walls became almost routine. Lady Jane Grey, known as the 9 Days Queen, was imprisoned here after losing the English throne. She was only 16 years old when she was executed. Witnesses described her walking blindly toward the execution block, unable to find it, through tears and panic. Today, Some claim her ghost appears during Cold War